Hi there. Today is Sunday, April 9th, 2023, and this is our Creative Week. Hi, strangers. I did not mean to be gone for a month. In fact, I did not mean to be gone at all. Allow me to explain what has transpired in the last month. Um, it's both small things and big things. First, why there were no updates. There were no updates because my brain literally forgot that this is something I do every week. Um, you know that thing about how, if you have routines, it's easy to keep up with them, or, it's like you create a habit and you'll stick to it. Yeah. ADHD brain means out of sight, out of mind. And I missed the first week because I was just feeling icky and awful because of some inflammation in my body. And it was a case of mastitis, which I've dealt with before. And if you don't know what that is, it's an inflammation in breast tissue. Um, I have dealt with it in the past. It has been a while, um, but it came along with some other things. In this case, it was a little bit of body dysmorphia. It was a bit of concern because there's always concern, um, in anyone, when there's issues with the breast, but especially women, we're taught to be on the lookout for breast cancer constantly. And so when, as it was healing, something didn't feel quite right, then there was a slight bit of concern. It was like, it's probably nothing, but we're going to check it out anyway. And I appreciate my doctors so much for taking my concerns seriously and not, dismissing them or saying, "Oh, don't worry, it's nothing," that kind of thing, because it's not nothing. It was a small cyst, but it's nothing that needed to be dealt with further, and that's a good thing. Yeah, and it was probably unrelated to the first problem, but as all of that was finally wrapping up and I was feeling more and more back to normal and everything, then I came down with the upper respiratory sinus thing that's been going around. And I know it's been going around because it's like several people in different parts of the country, who I follow online and stuff. Yeah, they were all reporting the same thing. So it's definitely something going around. It's, kind of late winter, early spring kind of stuff. And that knocked me out very hard. That was like a week and a half of not feeling myself at all. And so, that was another impediment. And it came with a cough that I knew I would not be able to stream with, and trying to make a video or anything like that, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to do any of that. And so after not doing it for a couple of weeks, I literally forgot. It was totally out of sight, out of mind. I wasn't looking at my planner. I didn't touch my planner for like 3 weeks of that. And it's very difficult for me to get back onto a schedule when I've completely broken that schedule. And there was no schedule. There was no schedule for a while. If somebody wasn't reminding me about it or wasn't otherwise involved in it, there was no schedule. It just didn't happen. So yeah, that's what's been going on, and fortunately, I am more or less well. We're going through a kind of a early spring cold snap right now, so suddenly we're back in, like, it's like 59 degrees outside right now, and so that's having fun with the sinuses, but that's no big deal. I hope I don't want another round of that. At any rate, we are back now. And astute watchers may realize that things look a little different behind me at the moment. Yeah, yeah. So one of the things that was going on amidst all of this, and I think I may have, yeah, I know I would have mentioned that in the last video, looking at the screenshot, I can, like, okay, yeah, I'd moved furniture by then. So I'd moved a bunch of stuff out of the office so I could rearrange and reorganize. Well, in the time that I've been gone, here but not, Todd very kindly installed pegboard on the upper walls in to both sides of the window behind me, and also to one side of the window alongside me. And so I have like my sewing threads and things over on that wall, and then I've got, this is going to be like paints and markers and all sorts of good things. And then over here, I have like more tools. And then just yesterday, Todd installed the countertop. This was like the linchpin of the new plan for the office and for the studio. And I am so happy to have it here. It is complete. It's not painted yet because, again, we just put it in there, and Todd had to kind of, fix some bowing issues from where it sat for a week because, unfortunately, he got sick with the same upper respiratory sinus thing as I had about a week later. And I felt so bad for him. I also felt bad that we ended up having to cancel plans with some friends. To get together, and that was a bummer. I was like, oh gosh, because it's just one of those things, but better safe than sorry. So yeah, he just installed this yesterday, and it will be mounted to the wall. It also has legs on it for additional support because it's 12 feet long by 2 feet deep, so 24 square feet of surface area for me to play with. Yay! But he put like wood filler on the seams and nail holes and stuff like that. And we're going to paint it too before I start loading it up with stuff and start using it. Originally, I was just going to paint it white, just whatever, even though I doubted my ability to keep that clean. So it's like, okay, it needs to be a white that I can, like, clean things off of. To that end, we're also going to put some plexiglass in the center, over the center of it, to maintain to keep the mess down to a minimum. That way I can just wipe it off easily. But then one of my other partners last night was like, well, why don't you paint why don't you paint it with chalkboard paint? And I'm like, just absolutely, why didn't I think of that? Exactly. So yeah, that's the new plan. So yeah, that's all been going on in the greater scheme of things. And Duncan is being rude and barking at people. And the more practical side, or the more physical side of creativity, I'll show you a few things that did get done. Now, because I wasn't streaming, I wasn't painting, so I have not done a lot. When it comes to the 50 states paintings, I have 2 that I finished. One, I can see where I was because it's in the background behind me. So this one was in progress in the last time I talked to y'all, but it's now finished. And this is uh-oh, I gotta look. Oh, this is South Carolina. Yes, this is South Carolina. So yeah, there's that. And then the next one, the 9th state, is New Hampshire. I can see that one a little bit better. So yeah, those 2 are complete. And then, even though I'd gotten back to them, and I started getting ready for the next couple, I had a realization, or kind of a mental quandary of, with everything going on in the world right now, everything going on in our country right now, where it kind of feels like we're imploding, and just so many things going on. Is this an appropriate project? When I go to release this as its original intent, as a cocktail book, with accompanying art, is it tone deaf to continue with a project like that? And so I took a week off after finishing New Hampshire. I took a week off from the project and worked on something else, because I really wanted to give myself some time to consider. I will, 99% sure, I will continue with the paintings. Whether I use them as the original plan as a cocktail book or I use the art for something else remains to be seen. I will know more as the project continues. I have not yet had to do a state where something heinous is going on at the same time in in current events. I haven't run into that yet. I don't doubt that things are problematic in all states. But the big ones that we're hearing about, that we're aware of, uh, I have not encountered it hasn't coincided yet. So I don't know what would happen if, or how, how that would color things. So yeah, I'm having some, like, not mental blocks, but just reconsiderations on what I might do with that project if I don't do it as the cocktail series or the book. So there's that, but we do have 2 more paintings to show. Also, drum roll please. Even though I was sick and not feeling my best, I still managed to publish Mother Mayhem, the 4th book in my Eden Creek Cozy Mystery series. Yay! It officially went live on the 4th, and there will be a large for me. The first official, like, promotion period for it, advertising and trying to get more people to read it, rather than just depending on the search algorithms to provide it to people. Yeah, so that's going on, and yeah, so that's a thing. That's a thing that's happened, and it's kind of taken up a lot of brain power. And then the other thing, while I wasn't working on the paintings, I was working on my polar bear sculpture. It's still in pieces, so it's kind of difficult to show, and it's in the other part of the room. So, there's that. But yeah, so I spent this past week's Twitch streams embroidering on camera, experimenting with different setups and stuff, and really making some serious progress with that, and that I'm really happy with. And then the other thing is my continued work with the the monsoon shawl. I always have to think, what is this thing called? And yes, and you can see that, there's now noticeable change because I've made it to the green section. Ideally, it's supposed to look kind of like a sunset or sunrise. And so I kind of, I used colors that I already had of yarns dyed in Arizona by different dyers. And in reality, it looks a little bit more like a watermelon, like a triangular watermelon slice than a sunrise or sunset. But I'm still sticking with it because this is the plan, and we're moving ahead. The other thing I've been dealing with regarding that project is the ergonomics of knitting, crocheting, and all that stuff sometimes can take a toll on your body. And I'm not dealing with carpal tunnel, which is probably the most common one that we hear about. I'm actually dealing with an ulnar nerve issue. So it's the nerve that runs through your elbow. And I have learned some exercises that help with it, but I do have to be careful. Otherwise, I will kind of start, getting like the pins and needles or numb feeling in my ring finger on my right hand. And we don't want that. We don't want that. All the fingers and hands are important. So yeah, that has been what's going on. And let's see, is there anything else to report? I don't think so. I mean, the normal things have still been happening. I've still been cooking every other week. Todd and I trade off. I've been reading books. I've been, just doing things. I've been organizing here and there. My goal is to get the rest of the stuff back out of the library and into my studio by my birthday, which is the very end of the month. So there's that. I have 21 days. Yes, 21 days to take care of that, and so that seems doable, especially now with the countertop. Once it's painted, it'll be full steam ahead. But even before then, I can start moving some things back in that would go under the desk, under the counter. And I'm gonna be swapping out my desk, and yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to the finished project or product, and I'm really enjoying how the space is shaping up. With especially with a mind too, I've left more open spaces for moving around, so I'm not always having to shimmy here, there, wherever. Will this be its final form? Probably not, because I move things around all the time, or think about it at least. But this one's been a good while in the coming. I did not. I don't think I added a date to when I decided to do the reorganization, but I know it's been a while. So yes. So whatever you're going through. Hang in there. I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're finding time for creativity in your own life, because that is absolutely important. I will say over and over again that creativity keeps us sane, keeps our mental resources topped up. And yeah, having those creative outlets is utmost necessity, especially for some folks. And yeah, so I wish you well on the week ahead. If you are celebrating Easter today, then happy Easter. I'd be wearing ears, but they're somewhere in that other room of stuff. And if it's more of a happy chocolate bunny day, well, happy chocolate bunny day for you too. For me, it's a peanut butter chocolate bunny, because that is my favorite. And yeah, best of luck to you in the week ahead. Find something that just makes your heart sing, makes the brain go, as some people say. I love I love the idea of that. The brain go, find something that, accesses your dopamine levels, and do it. Do it for yourself. And I will be back in a week. I'm back to using my planner, so we're back on track. But I will be back next weekend with another update of our creative week. Bye.